Continue. Okie dokie. We've covered the top section, which feels like it's a lot in itself. Now let's talk about your profile. Now, this is the view that somebody would have if they clicked into your profile. And what I mean by clicking into your profile is they might see you in the comments section, or they search for you and they click on your profile, and this is what they would be seeing. Not exactly this, sorry, because I'm logged into your profile, but we're positioning this from somebody who's now looking at your profile. Remember, we've got those 3 questions top of mind. Profile photo obviously is important. If you click on the profile photo, they give you some great options with the edit button for you to zoom in or zoom out, and you can sort of move the profile photo around. You can also choose a nice filter. There's a sort of warm studio filter. That's a spotlight filter. I'm actually going to keep it on spotlight, Ingrid, because I think that's quite nice. And then adjust gives you options to adjust the various brightness, contrast, saturation, and so forth. So the photo edit button of the profile photo has a couple of options. Look how much sort of clearer it looks now. I'm going to click back into there because it has, this is where you would add a photo. So you can add a photo there. And it shows you this option of a little eye in anyone. That's basically who can see your profile photo. Now, if I, at the top there, that's just slightly cut off. But remember, I was talking about your connections, first degree connections only. Your network is everybody who either is connected or follows you. And then all LinkedIn members is anyone on LinkedIn, everyone there. But I would say you must always have it set to anyone on or off LinkedIn. Because remember, if you Google your name, if someone Googles you, the first thing that comes up is your LinkedIn profile, and you want people to immediately go, that's Ingrid. That's the Ingrid that I know. So always keep it to anyone on or off LinkedIn, and consider that because the search engine optimization of LinkedIn is so powerful, this photo of you is the first photo that anyone's going to see when they Google your name. So it's an important photo. I would like you to consider this your online avatar photo. The consistency of this photo along how you look on your website, how you look on other social media platforms is important. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And then just to talk about what this section is of the frames, this is what you can, if you're hiring somebody, you can click the hiring option and you get the purple hiring tab.
All right.
What's interesting is that LinkedIn used to have this associated with you had to be posting a job advert on LinkedIn, but they've unconnected that. So you don't have to have an actual job advert running on LinkedIn in order to get the hiring button. So you see, I was able to click into it without having a paid job advert running, which is quite powerful for an entrepreneur who's not going to advertise on LinkedIn, but wants to tell people, I'm hiring. So there's that. And then the other banner that they give you is the open to work banner. The green banner, which lets people know that you're open to work. The other thing is that the frames, it gives you the option of being visible to all LinkedIn members. And just to note, oh, for some reason we can't click in on that, so don't worry about that. But those are the different banners around your profile and what's relevant and what's not. I'm just going to exit that, and we definitely want to discard the changes. So then that's profile photo. The next thing about the top part of your profile, because there's a sort of top, middle, and bottom of your profile, and we're working in the top now, is clearly your name. Very important that it is your actual name. Now, not all of us, or certainly, I mean, it always amazes me how many different people share our names on LinkedIn. So sometimes if you created a profile years ago, you might find that the likelihood of your name being used by somebody else who genuinely actually shares your name does happen. What I suggest, if you have a name that's easily, a fairly familiar name like Anna Smith, what you could do to separate yourself from the other Anna Smiths potentially is use a middle initial. So you can use an initial in your name, or alternatively a full middle name, or you could add a qualification at the end of your name. But yeah, look, with 1 billion users, there are a lot of people with a lot of names on LinkedIn. I just love searching in the search tab for Licia because it's such an unusual name, and I'm always amazed at how
Yes.
many Licias there are on LinkedIn. So if you can't get a profile in your name, it is going to mean that you need to use some deciphering factor to have your name, either a middle name, a middle initial, or a qualification on the end. But then remember, that's also connected to your #1 search in your personal search engine optimization and your profile photos. So the consistency there needs to pull through, if that makes sense. The other
Yes.
part, and let me just click into the pencil button, which edits those sections. This is where you can, so for example, and I'm just going to say, just out of testing, just put Alice in your name for now, and then we save it, and there your name has changed to Ingrid Alice Budge. So you literally just type it in that name section. Alternatively, if you wanted to put, I laughed, I worked with an entrepreneur client of mine last week, and he said, "Can you put Esquire on the end of my name, please?" So we're just going to use his example, like, or if you had a qualification that was relevant, again, you would just type it on the end of your surname, and there's Ingrid Budge Esquire on LinkedIn. All this is doing, though, to be clear, is just changing the name that's listed in the top part of your profile. We're going to talk about your LinkedIn URL in a second. But the other part of visibility of your profile is this wonderful, big, odd-shaped background image. Now, it's huge retail space on LinkedIn to customize it and to have something that's associated with your brand. It's particularly from an entrepreneur perspective, a really nice way of showcasing not only who you are, but what you do, what your other companies are. You could have other social media icons to cue people into the fact that you are on YouTube. You could have a call to action, join the membership. You can use it in a very dynamic way. And Canva have a great file of photos. They actually have, if you Google on Canva, if you search on Canva, LinkedIn background photo, they have a pre-edited template and file and great pictures that you can upload. So from an entrepreneur perspective, 100%, you want to upload a photo that's going to support you. LinkedIn do give you these nice options here. So Ingrid, just go ahead and let's choose one for now while we...
I'll choose the flowers, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's go with the pretty flowers. I mean, they've got a whole bunch of different ones here, which are quite nice, but these are standard from... Still happy with the flowers?
Yes, all good.
So these are standard that LinkedIn have created for you, so they're not customizable, and the chances that somebody else might have that as well. Just
You
checking.
say go to Canva and customize on Canva.
Yes, definitely. 100% customize on Canva. You'll see that my background photo on the premium, you can actually create a swipeable, like a carousel. So on the premium
Oh, right.
option, you can add 3 different profile pictures. Let me just go to my profile and I can show you what that looks like. So there is my profile photo, and then it automatically swipes through with my kind of call to actions. I've got 2 testimonials and then the beginning of my website that talks about the Career Strategy Club and me. But for now, let's just start with the basics of what you want to start populating your profile and looking good. Canva also has a really nice file for a profile photo, and on Canva you can remove background, you can cut people out, you can do amazing things. So there really is no excuse for any entrepreneur to say, well, I haven't got a nice profile photo for LinkedIn, because you don't have to spend gazillions on a photo shoot. Not that a photo shoot is gazillions, but you really don't have to spend a lot. You just need to pull a good photo through and cut your husband out on Canva and upload it to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so that's the stuff from an entrepreneurial perspective. Now, up at the top here, Ingrid, can you see the LinkedIn URL up in my
Yes.
search tab?
Lisa, before you jump to that, with that banner at the back there, you said you could put like, social media links and stuff. Can you hyperlink those as well on that banner or not?
So I'm not 100% sure. I don't it's not a clickable banner, although
Okay.
when
That's just more info.
Let me just, no, it's not. When you click on the banner, it just opens up the image. So at this point,
The image, okay.
don't have it hyperlinked. However, there's something to be said for saving that image that you use in keywords. So I have seen on LinkedIn that, for example, you download this nice flower background image in your files and you save it as Ingrid Budge, Marketing and Business Development Specialist. That might benefit you from a keyword perspective. I need to double check that, because there are a lot of things that are, this is what you can do on LinkedIn. But look, just as a good matter of course, don't save it as flower background, save it in your name, Ingrid Budge, Marketing Specialist, and then upload it to LinkedIn. I think that's a good rule of thumb for any kind of background image.
And when you say save it with that file name, you mean save it in Canva with that file name and then upload it?
Yeah, or save it on your file as that. Yeah, absolutely. Ingrid,